Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 and welcome to a brand new save. A save type that I have never done before. Building a nation. And we're going to try it with the Ivory Coast, a nation which actually isn't in the game by default, so I have actually had to download a database for this. We are also going to try and do this not with the best team in the Ivory Coast. We're one of the best teams, but we're not ASEC Mimosas. We are going to be in charge of Africa Sports Abidjan. I should probably learn how to pronounce some of these names as we're going to try and do a save in the Ivory Coast. Ignore this league history thing, it's broken. Last season apparently they finished 6th, 4th, so they're kind of a mid-table-ish side. The Ivorian Premier League is fairly small. We only play 26 games a season, which is good. It means we can fly through seasons pretty quickly with Africa Sports. First thing we really need to do is become a good side. We need to develop our team to make ourselves challenging for the title. We need to also qualify for the African Champions League or the African Confederations Cup. There's a different cup. So we've got the Ivorian National Cup, Ivorian League Cup, but also there are two competitions, if we go qualification places. So we have the African Champions League and the African Confederation Cup. So the Confederation Cup, I think, is like the Europa League. The Champions League is obviously the Champions League. We only get one team in the Champions League and one team in the Confederations Cup. So we need to hope that those teams that do qualify for those do well. Otherwise, we're not going to progress. Or we need to make sure we finish first or second in the league, and then we can beat that team in, I was going to say Europe. It's not Europe. In continental competition, and then hopefully we can propel the nation up the leagues. And by leagues, I mean world rankings. Currently, they are 67th in the world. It's not particularly great, but the Ivory Coast does have the ability to create some very good footballers. Nicolas Pépé, Wilfried Zaha, Eric Bailly, Sergio Aurier, JPG and Wilfred Boney are the top 6 players apparently according to Football Manager. So hopefully we can be on that list, or we can have some of our players at the very least on that list of top players from the Ivory Coast. It's going to be hopefully a fun save this. I'm hoping it goes a fair few seasons, and because the seasons in the Ivory Coast are nice and quick, I'm hoping it's not going to take forever. My plan is to play this save until Football Manager 2021 comes out. So we could be going all the way from September until November. It might be 3 months, 4 months of this save. We will see. So as this is the first episode of the save, what we will do, I'll just kind of give you a little bit of an introduction to the club. I don't know a huge amount about them either. They are just one of the few clubs that I go to. I say few, one of the many clubs that I go to in basically Football Manager to poach some of their decent youth players, which is why I've picked them. They are reasonably well, like reputation-wise, 2-star, which actually isn't bad. They're a regional side. They have a local derby against ASEC Mimosas. That's not great. It costs £1 if you want to go watch an Africa Sports game. Facilities-wise, this is what we need to try and improve. We've got a big old stadium, 20,000 capacity, but if it only costs £1, that's £20,000 per match at most that we will possibly get. So yeah, match day income not going to be particularly great. It is our facilities we need to improve. Data analysis I'm not too fussed about. We've got adequate training facilities. That is something that I want to improve as soon as possible. Basic youth facilities as well, something that definitely needs to be improved. The junior coaching and youth recruitment as well is average and basic, so that needs to be improved. In order to do that, we need money. We have a small amount of money. We've got £225,000. We need to make sure we're in continental competition, because if we get into continental competition, that money will be 2 million by the end of next season. If we're in the continental competitions, we'll have 2 million in the bank. Have we got any sort of... where are we looking? Affiliates, there we go, that's what we want. We don't have any affiliates. So, first thing we're going to do, we need some money. Give us extra money. Thank you, Alexis Vagba. We're going to get ourselves a senior affiliate, which will hopefully help us out a lot. Now, I'm not going to go through the entire squad. In fact, I'm probably barely going to click on many players at all. What I want to kind of bring to your attention is the fact that we don't have any left-backs. We've got one central midfielder, proper central midfielder. Everyone else is a defence midfielder or a winger or a striker. So we already have a little bit of a building job to do with the side, because we don't have the players that fit my system. And if you've been here for previous saves, the Southport save, Sampdoria, and I believe part of Newcastle as well, you'll probably know what my system is. It's this. It's the 4-1-2-2-1 or 4-1-4-1 DM wide or 4-1-2-3 DM wide, whatever you want to call it. They're all interchangeable names, but we don't have central midfielders here. We don't have a left back. Even in our youth system, we don't really have great options. Ibrahima Konate is probably good enough to be in the first team, so we'll move him straight up. But yeah, we don't have anyone amazing. We've got a lot of strikers as well. You're probably too old to be here. You need to leave. You're not very good. So, looking at club vision then, what do the board want us to do? Well, basically, nice and simple. They want us to just not spend too much money, which is basically part of the prerequisites of what we're trying to do here. They want us to finish in the top half, which should be reasonably possible. And then they don't care too much about the cup competitions, which is great, because I want to win one, to be fair. I want to win one of those cup competitions. I think it's possible to do. They do want us to be champions of the Ivory Coast come the end of the 2023-2024 season, which might be a bit of a struggle. We're going to need to do some sensible investing. I think that's got to be our early season plans, is to invest heavily into the right players. We can't really start throwing money at our facilities until we've got the squad, I think, behind us to basically support funding the facilities in the first place by getting into continental football. Now, one thing I will be doing with this save is I will be using the instant result button for quite a lot of the matches, in particular the league matches, because ultimately the league isn't where we're looking. We're looking in continental competitions. We want to be winning the league, yes, but when we're playing like the team who are currently sat 13th and 14th in the table, we should be good enough to hopefully just beat them. Particularly once sort of 3 or 4 seasons in, we should just be walking the league. Maybe with ASEC Mimosas possibly challenging us, but yeah, we should be walking the league, so I'm not too interested in that. Also, when it comes to the Champions Leagues and the Continental Confederation Cup, there are some very small sides that end up making it through. You'll get teams from South Sudan and Gambia and stuff like that will find their way into the Champions League group stages, and we'll beat them 15-0. That will happen. So I might end up using it as well for some of the Champions League matches and European Continental. It's not Europe, we're in Africa. Some of the continental competition, we're literally called Africa Sports, Stuart. You should know this. Africa's not Europe. When we get into continental competition, we also might be using the instant result button, is what I'm trying to say. And because of that instant result button, I have a feeling we're going to fly through seasons. We are literally going to be doing maybe 3 or 4 episodes a season, which sounds insane, but I'm hoping that's what we can do. I say that's what I can do, because if we can do that, that will be great. We will fly through 20 seasons between now and Football Manager 2021. That is the plan. What we're going to do in this episode, I'm going to now spend probably about 4 hours trying to find some decent footballers to join our club to hopefully strengthen us, and we might end up playing one match on camera. I don't know who it's going to be. I think they're good. We might play SC Gagnoa on camera, so we'll probably come back end of September time. That might be the plan. Right, we are back. We're actually not at the start of the season, but I've been doing some transfer business. We have strengthened our side, and we brought in 4 players whose surname is Kouakou, which is going to get extremely confusing. What I'm going to do is kind of give you a quick rundown of the squad that we've got at the moment. We are expected to finish 5th or 6th in the league for this season, which actually isn't too bad. If we can get that, I'll be very happy with that. I also need to kind of give you a quick rundown of exactly what the plan is for basically building a nation and what my plans are and how we can go about doing this. So then, the squad, as you can see, has expanded reasonably. We've promoted a few players. For example, Jean-Franck Bedia down here has been promoted from our under 21s or under 18s or something like that, because I think there's something there. He looks alright. His 15 first touch is pretty decent, and he's only 16 years old, so he's been brought up. Plus, he's a central midfielder, which we don't have a huge amount of those. We've also got Jean Udez Cassie, is another example coming up from our youth team as well. So we have kind of strengthened. We brought in some decent players. I will quickly go to the transfers. There is the list of players. We've got rid of Felix Teta on loan. Apparently doesn't have a wage anyway, so like he's just gone out on loan. They could have just had him, to be fair, but you know. We've also signed Axel Kouakou, Kader Kouakou, and Richard Kouakou. None of them are related. Richard is the one who we're going to have a look at because he is going to be our left back for the season. 28 years of age. He will soon be 29 in October. I think he's decent. 3-star current ability. Is very difficult to know in a league that you've never been a manager in if he's good. I think he's good. I'd say he's probably League One standard in England, which I'm hoping is what the Ivory Coast Premier Division is kind of League One level, so I think he's going to be decent. We've also bought Ibrahima Ouattara, who is a left and right back. He's basically going to be a backup left back. He and Richard might be swapping, so I'm not quite sure yet. Like I said, it's a new league, it's a new team. I don't know who's going to be any good. Ouattara might be amazing for all we know. One player that I'm pretty excited about is Abubakar Koyate. He is a 20-year-old Ivorian central defender. He's got 3-star current ability, but 4.5-star potential, which 4.5-star potential is in comparison to my squad. So he's not going to be a world beater, but he's certainly going to get better than what he currently is, and I think he's pretty good at the moment, so he's probably going to be getting a lot of football. He's come in on a free transfer. He spent some time in Peru and the Czech Republic and a bit of France as well. So he's been around. He's a well-travelled Ivorian central defender. We've also got Douada Diarra, who I think is probably one of our best players. He is 28 years of age. He's going to be turning 29 in a month's time. I think he's good. I don't know how good he is. He's formerly of ASEC Mimosas, hasn't played a lot for ASEC Mimosas apparently, according to the database, only 21 times. But I think he's a good option, plus he's 28, so he's got a bit of an old head on him, so hopefully he can kind of become a bit of a team leader. Obviously, there are a lot of footballers to go through in this list. What I'm probably going to do is, as we go through the season, I'm kind of going to try and highlight a few in various episodes. So we might take a look at sort of, let's say, the goalkeepers and a striker in one episode, and then some midfielders and the central midfielders and wing-backs or whatever in another episode, just so you can kind of see how the squad is growing. Now, building a nation. You will notice that we have Ivorians everywhere. We've only got 2 players who aren't from the Ivory Coast. We have Sogbossi, who is from Benin apparently, and we also have Alozi, who is from Nigeria. The plan for me is to not have foreign players, and only have foreign players if they are really, really good. I'm not going to just buy decent, like half-decent foreigners to pad out the team. I want to be an Ivorian side. I want most of the players to be from the Ivory Coast. I want to also not sell players outside of the Ivory Coast unless I literally can't get away with it. For example, let's take Ousmane Diallo. He is one of our best players. If teams in the Ivory Coast want to buy him for £150,000, I'm probably not going to do it. But if somebody from, say, France comes in and offers me £3 million, I probably will do that. So there's kind of a judgment call from myself. I will try and sell players and keep them within the Ivory Coast. I will loan players to keep them within the Ivory Coast. I'm not going to loan players out to different nations because it doesn't benefit the Ivory Coast, effectively. That's what we need to try and do. And one other thing as well that I'm not going to do is become the Ivory Coast manager. I want the Ivory Coast to just turn into a really good side without me getting involved. My only involvement is the youth development, is the generating of the players. If Maxime Guamini is going to be their manager for the rest of time, he better make use of my really good youth players, assuming I have really good youth players. It's going to take a while. I reckon for 5 years, we're not going to see a huge amount of progress for the Ivory Coast, but hopefully we see enough progress that our effort is worthwhile. Right, pre-season is now out of the way, and I'm not going to play the first few matches on camera, but I will play one match in this episode. But what I want to do before we get into the matches is just take a quick look at the season preview for the first year. So we are expected to be 5th in the league, which is actually reasonable. I'm okay with 5th place. ASEC Mimosas are expected to become champions. Army in 2nd, Gagnoa in 3rd, FC San Pedro in 4th, and then ourselves in 5th. It is actually weirdly a very strong team, very strong league. I don't know whether that's just my understanding of these clubs. ASEC Mimosas, I know, produce obviously very, very good youth players. Gagnoa do. San Pedro do. Africa Sports do. AFA Dijekanu do. I've seen lots of very good footballers come out of all of these clubs. So I don't know whether that's just my perception that those are good teams. But looking at the odds, 6-1, we're 10-1. Like, no one is going to run away with this league according to the odds. 40-1 is still not awful, all the way down in 11th place. I do like the fact that the Media Dream 11 does have our player in there. Pacome Zuzu, who, if I'm honest, he is our best player. He has just signed a new contract as well, because in these databases, a lot of the time, because the players don't normally exist, they don't have big contracts. So pretty much everyone in the club has a 1-year contract. So I've tried to extend them by a further year. Zuzu is one of them, but he's very good. He is very good. Probably going to play every single game for us this season. If we look as well, key players, they've also got Alozie, who is our Nigerian left winger. He's also very good. Is he only Nigerian? He is only Nigerian. Okay, he's only been in the Ivory Coast for 35 days, but I think he's very, very good. I think he's going to score a lot of goals for us from that left wing position, which is good news because we need goal scorers. That's how you win football matches. Our key player is Alozie, who we've just had a look at. Christian Drogba is our hot prospect. Now, he is a goalkeeper. He's not very good at the moment, but he is only 16 years old. I think Christian Drogba might break into the first team within a season. I like to play young players as early as possible. If Christian Drogba is any good, 1.5-star current ability isn't good enough at the moment. If he hits 2.5, I'll be playing him. I will be playing him pretty much until he's good enough or gets sold. So yeah, we will kick off the season then against WAC, which I think is Williamsville Athletic Club. We've then got Bouake FC, who don't have a badge apparently. They do have a kit, but they don't have a badge. Their kit is literally blue and white, but it's not the generic blue and white. Then we've got Army, we've got the National Cup second round. We will come back for SC Gagnoa, I believe, as the final match. So the only match of this episode, because this could be about 7 hours long for all I know at the moment. So I'm not going to do this for every single match of the save, but I just want to draw your attention to this is what happens when you do an instant result. You get this little pop-up. We've drawn 0-0 with WAC, and we had 36 shots. 36 shots. A third of those shots were on target, and we couldn't score a goal. I feel like we deserve something from that. We got a point. Right then, it is the end of September. We have played a few matches now in the league. I think we've also played 1 or 2 in the cup competitions as well. Things are going definitely to plan. We are currently top of the table. Yes, I am fully aware we are only 3 games in, but we have 7 points. We are joint at the top with USC Bassam, who I don't know if they're any good or not. The big boys, ASEC Mimosas, are down in 3rd. They have lost a game. They lost to USC Bassam. Maybe USC Bassam are good. So, we started off with a 0-0 draw against Williamsville Athletic Club, and we battered them. We then played 2 friendlies. So, this is something I've realised, because we play so infrequently, because we've got 26 matches to fit across an entire calendar year, we've got lots of free weekends, so I'm just filling them with friendlies against random clubs. So we played 2 friendlies. We actually beat USC Bassam 6-0 apparently. We played Bouake FC in the Premier Division and beat them 3-0 in this one. Ousmane Diallo with 2 and Jean-Franck Bedia with a goal. On his debut nonetheless. He's only 16 years old. After another friendly against RC Abidjan, maybe, we then played SO Army and we won 3-0. Stevens Coffee with a hat-trick in this one. We then progressed to the National Cup 3rd round with a 1-0 victory against ES Bingaville. I don't know whether any of these names are pronounced correctly. Frank Kouakou with the goal after 106 minutes of football in this one. So yeah, Jean-Franck Bedia, who I think we actually looked at earlier in the episode as well, I have decided he's my project. Jean-Franck Bedia is my project for the season. He is going to play as much football as I can feasibly get away with. He's already played twice, scoring a goal as well. He's actually played 3 times because he played in the Cup. So yeah, Jean-Franck Bedia is going to be one of the first names on the team sheet. Not that he's good enough, but I'm hoping that he will become good enough. Right then, let's play our first match on camera, shall we? SC Gagnoa in the league, currently down in 7th place. They've played 3. They've not lost yet, actually. They've drawn, and they've drawn twice, and they've got 1 victory. They've beaten, long name, cool, and they've drawn with San Pedro and USC Bassam. So I think they're actually doing all right. The draw with Bassam, that guy, I think that's, if they won that one, they would have been a lot higher up the league. Here we are then at the Stade Robert Champrou in Abidjan in the Ivory Coast. Our starting 11 then you can see on the left hand side. I'm not going to list all the players because let's face it, you don't really know them. I don't really know them at this point. The only one we do know is Bedia here in the middle because he's my little pet project for the season. Our central defenders, Aka. Aka is one of those players. I think he's very, very good. He's going to get a lot of football for us. He's currently our club captain as well. I do like Serafin Aka. We've also got Ousmane Diallo on the right wing as well. He is still only 21 years of age. He's nearly 22, or will be 22 in a couple of months' time, but I think he's going to do very well for us. He's already scored twice from that right wing position. Hopefully, he can keep that up against Gagnoa. Now, as this is my first recorded match of the Africa Sports Save, expect me to get all of the names completely wrong. Bedia, I can do. Coffee, I can do. Diallo, I can do that one. I can also sort out Aka. Some of the other ones might need a few tries to get it right. We've got a highlight finally. The corner comes in at the back post. Is a header clear. Diarra Suba has the ball. I know this one, by the way, because I had a player in a previous save called Diarra Suba. We've got it once again. Diarra Suba collects it. We've got two on the right. Play it down the wing, please. Down the wing. Bedia, the youngster, 16 years of age. Diarra Suba collects the ball once again. Mayeri runs down the right. He's got some space. Uses Bedia instead. Gets it back. Diarra Suba pulling the strings in the middle. Bedia needs to go backwards again. We're going the wrong way. We're going the wrong way, team. Come on, you green and reds. I don't know, have we got a nickname? We probably have. Utara, forward to Sheikh. Who's Sheikh? Alioze, that's his name. He's the Nigerian left winger. We've won ourselves a corner from the effort from the winger. Is it Sheikh? Sheikh? I don't know. How do you pronounce that? Diallo's got the ball. Outside of the Gagnoa penalty area. He's going to run forward down the right-hand side. The winger crosses in, back post. It's not the best of crosses. He's going to not even keep it in play. Fair enough. That's probably going to end the highlight, isn't it? Yep, there it goes. Another one begins. Serafin, that's Aka. Why are they all putting their first names down? I tried to learn their surnames. Mayeri has the ball. Diallo's there. That's a straight red card for Cassie. Well, there you go. At least something's happened. Gagnoa have themselves a corner on the left-hand side. Underwilly? His name is Underwilly. Hold on. His name's Willy Under. He's actually alright. Willy's pretty decent. He's a real player. We can't take the mick out of his name, even though it's quite a funny name. It's a goal kick for Gagnoa. Long kick over the halfway line. Diarra Suba heads down. Bedia collects it. Mayeri, who I wasn't expecting to be our right back for most of the season, but he's done alright so far. In towards, or backwards, to Diarra Suba, the deep-lying playmaker. Bedia and Diarra Suba passing. Mayeri, he's got some options in the middle. Four of them, in fact. Edge of the area is Zuzua. His long-range effort, though, goes wide of the post. I do like the fact that he's got himself blonde hair. That looks good. He's got a corner. The Nigerian once again takes it towards the back. It's a header clear. That's the referee. Thought that was our player. Glodiudu. Who? Not a chance am I going to be able to learn how to pronounce his name. Goa with the ball for Gagnoa. Diabate. Diabate's got lots of company. Zazua steals the ball away. Runs into the penalty area. Back to Utara, though. What are we going to do? Diarra Suba. Back to Utara again. We're going backwards. We're going the wrong way, team. There we go. Diallo's going to hopefully keep the ball in play and hopefully whip that cross in. He does. Shike, Chike, whatever his name is. I need to come up with a name. I might call him John. John with the ball. Crosses it in. Not managing to find an Africa Sports head, but it is still definitely our ball. On the left, we can try and whip it in. Back to Utara instead. The fullback, he does cross it in. Kofi is there. Headed effort by the striker. I think his name's Stevens Kofi, is just over the bar. Corner just before half-time. Aliozi's corner is towards the back post, and Stevens Kofi is there. He's put the ball in the back of the net, but I think he was offside. That would have been an ideal way to end the first half. Unfortunately, he has been called for offside. Yep, he was offside. Serafin Aka with the initial chance, and then Coffee was there in an offside position. It's 0-0 at half-time. We're doing all right. We're having a lot of shots, not necessarily on target, though. And our assistant manager has said, tell them it was disappointing. Aggressively it is. I'm not happy. You seem demotivated. Diarra Suba, to be fair, Diarra Suba, you are doing well. I'm going to calmly say to you, I'm happy with you. Nothing notified. Good, at least you're not angry. No changes at the break for us. I'm going to give them a get creative. We're having lots and lots of shots. Look at that possession as well. 75% possession we've had in the first 55 minutes of the game. We've got the ball from a poor kick out. Utara can run towards goal. In towards Diarra Suba. Bedia, edge of the area, goes for a long-range effort, and the youngster's effort whistles past the goalkeeper's left-hand post. This has got everything about a Gagnoa winner, hasn't it? Gagnoa are going to score themselves a winner right at the death. Diallo's having an absolute shocker today. He is on a 6.3. We are going to do you. Sure, you are a left foot. Yes, you can play on the right. I'm pretty sure. I'm training you to be an inside forward on the right. There we go. because he's left-footed. So he should be an inside forward on the right-hand side. So he's going to try his luck. Agbregua, maybe. We might also do Stevens off for Frank. Frank Kouaka is coming on, one of the 4 Kouaka brothers that we have in our squad. It's Aliosi with the corner, 65 minutes. It's almost managed to find our substitute on the head. Diarra Subba's picking up a second yellow card. What is happening in this match? What is happening in this match? We're just going to stick with that. I mean, I don't want to do any changes. I don't... Confirm changes. Why can I not? There's no changes to do. Just carry on. I don't need to confirm anything. It's a very one-sided match, but it is not one-sided enough in terms of scoreline. It is still 0-0. Mayeri to Bedia. The youngster back to the throw and take a Mayeri. Bedia once again crosses in. Utara's at the back, the left back into Aliosi. We've managed to find the way in. Ibrahima Utara with the goal. 79 minutes it's taken us to break through this Gagnoa defence. We are 1-0 up. We are looking likely to continue our unbeaten run. 10 points on the board if everything stays this way. Still 7 minutes to play. And almost managing to find its way in the back of the net there. Right, let's do ourselves a bit of time-wasting substitutions. Bedia has had a wonderful game. It's 7.0. We're going to do Aliosi off. No, we're not, because we don't have anyone who can play there. Mayeri, he's going to come off for Romaric Kone. There we go. Romaric Kone, I think he's young and he's optimistic. And by he's optimistic, I'm optimistic that he's all right. He might get decent. It looks like we're going to beat SC Gagnoa 1-0 in the end. 1-0 on the night. 2 players getting sent off in this match. Just the 1 goal, but 33 shots from us. 8 on target. How are we getting 8 shots on target? Is that it? I'm going to give them an assertive I'm not happy, because we should have scored 4 or 5 in that. Well then, the excitement of our 4th game of the season comes to a close, and we are top of the table still, although there are 5 teams in the league who have yet to suffer defeat. 3 of those teams have only won 1 match and drawn 3, so it's still very, very close. It's all to play for. Got a long way to go, and by a long way, we've got 22 games, which actually isn't that far at all. Diarra Subba's banned for 1 match. Well, that's not ideal. An ill-tempered affair, apparently, because there were 2 red cards. I don't think it was that ill-tempered. It was just a clown of a tackle from their guy, and Diarra Subba picking up 2 yellows. Well then, that is probably going to do it for this first episode of the Africa Sports Save, Building a Nation in the Ivory Coast. Hopefully, that's the plan. Next episode, I'm not really sure what we're going to do. We're probably just going to come back. We might come back AFAD Jekanu and then do something like San Pedro. We might do that. We might be already in January come episode 2. I don't know when transfer windows or anything like that happens. I know we get our youth intake around March, which is going to be quite important for us because that's kind of what we want. That's what we want to do to build our squad, to build the nation of the Ivory Coast. Thank you very much for watching this first episode of Africa Sports. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like. If you're new here and you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. I'll be back next time with more Football Manager with Africa Sports, Building a Nation. It's going to be fun. It's going to take a while, but it's certainly going to be fun. See you next time.